else half the time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Wednesday on All Things Books and Publishing. And this week has been a week of surprises. Record-breaking surprises, adventures. God just keeps driving this train down the track, and we just keep letting him, because I'm going to tell you what, when we allow God to do God and be God and allow him to put his plan where he wants it, when he wants it, wonderful things happen. Y'all been with us enough to know that this is a God-driven publishing house, and we do not charge our authors to publish their books. I get asked every day, well, why don't you? Because God takes care of me in ways that nobody knows.
Because God said don't.
Exactly. And so I allow God to do God and to be God and to give others a voice. And the outreach is phenomenal. As you all know, the other host with this circus of insanity is Mary Brotherton. I could not do it without her. She is absolutely amazing.
You could, you just don't like it.
Well, it wouldn't be half as much fun. It wouldn't be half as much fun. So, without further ado, we were supposed to have a guest, but it's us now, so it's okay. Yeah. We will.
She may be coming in late, but who knows?
We'll soldier on. We don't care.
Yeah.
We know how to pivot. So, first of all, I have to give a shout out to Riverside. This is who hosts our podcast. And not only do they host our podcast, but up until 2 days ago, Mary, maybe 2 days ago, not even 2 days ago.
You announced it yesterday.
So it was the day before I was working on it.
Yeah.
So with the plan that I have with Riverside, All Things Books and Publishing has their own podcasting website. It's called allthingsbooksandpublishing.riverside.com. And we ask that you all subscribe to this website, because all of our podcasts are on there, all of our lives are going up on there, and all of our little 7-11-second videos for our authors' books are going up there. And already, in less than 48 hours, we have had 237 views.
There's Dar! Hi, Dar!
Is she in the chat room, or is she joining us?
She's in the chat room, yeah.
Okay. She needs to join us live if she's going to come on.
Oh, yeah. Send her the link.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see if I can invite Dar to join us live.
She's one of our authors, and she's always at our classes, our podcast. Dar, don't worry about it if you don't have makeup on. We don't either.
We don't care.
Join us. This would be the perfect opportunity to talk about your books and just be with us.
We would love to have you. I'm sending you the link.
She's going to email you the link, Dar.
No, actually, I'm sending it in Messenger.
Okay, go on Facebook and join us that way.
Okay, I just sent Dar a link. Maybe she'll join us in Messenger. Anyway, back to our podcast page. I am in the process of setting up all of our lives, all of our 7-second shorts. All of these podcasts go up on our podcast website. Everything also goes up on Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Music. And we have already started reaching international countries. The US, France, the UK, and Sweden have now joined us on that website.
I love it. And France is our biggest fan.
Absolutely.
I just love that.
And the fact that on top of this website, ladies and gentlemen, we're also on YouTube with 120 countries that have viewed and that continually to view our videos on YouTube. We're on TikTok as well with 18,000 views. We're on Instagram, and the views on Instagram are climbing like a rock climber. We sell books internationally as well as nationally. All of the books that qualify go up on all four formats, which are Audible, paperback, Kindle, and hardback. Breathing time. Oh, there's Anada's joined us.
Good.
Hi, Anada.
Hi, baby
Hey,
girl.
my apologies. I'm trying to get used to Riverside. My sincere apology. I've been sitting here just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
There's a learning curve.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Ananda Rose has joined us. She is one of our authors. We have released her book, Together We Can. Welcome, my dear. So glad you joined us. How exciting.
All right, Dar, you're off the hook. You don't have to come in if you don't want to.
Dar's
We've
in our
got Dar
chat.
J. Joe in our chat. And when you didn't show up, we were like, well, if Dar's here, she can join us.
Oh.
Join if you want to, Dar. We've got room for all of you.
Yes, ma'am. The more the merrier. So, Ananda, I don't know if you have read on Facebook, but this Riverside now has given us a website, and it's called allthingsbooksandpublishing.riverside.com. All of our podcasts go on that website. I need for you to go on and subscribe to it so you can stay up with it. This will go up there. All of our lives go up there. All of our 7-second videos go up there. It all goes out to Deezer, Amazon Music, Apple Music, the website, and YouTube. And Spotify. I left off Spotify. We now are being seen on this website in the US, France, the UK, and Sweden.
And that's just the beginning, because we know that those other 116 countries are going to follow us over here.
Absolutely. And the thing is, everything that I put up on that website automatically translates over to YouTube. So all I have to do now is go to YouTube, pull up our author website, grab the link, drop it in the author website, and voila, it's seen in another 48 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, we're seen in 120 countries. Making my head spin. Now, before I introduce our guest, we are only in the 18th day of the month. Now, this is the last month of the first quarter. In retail, the first quarter, nobody does any buying because they are working on taxes, insurance, paying off
They're
debt.
recovering.
They're recovering from the shock of their credit card when they look at it and it's higher than the national debt. So, because I'm a realist, I was not expecting any sales, well, minimal sales, January, February, March. January and February exceeded our expectations. March is blowing us out of the water. We had
March
16
was breaking records.
Absolutely. We had 16 pre-orders for Kindle, for Manaphage, and for Emerging Dreams in Growth, Gwen 2.0 by Gwendolyn Law, Manaphage by Aaron M. Frakes. From March 1 to today, we have 86 sales, not including those 16. So we're at 102 sales for the month. There you go.
Do you like that, ladies?
That's a nice sound clip. I like that.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. So, Ananda came to us through Mary. She's a children's author. She wrote a beautiful little book called Together We Can. And I took the book, did my magic with it, sent it back to her, and she said, I kind of wanted it to look like my first book with illustrations. I said, Ananda, have you not met us? Do you not understand? We don't follow the crowd. We are trendsetters, not trend followers. So in her book, there's beautiful graphics of children and adults, and they're all doing things together to save and work on the environment. When she went back and looked at it and really looked at it, she said, I get it. I get it. Take it and run with it. So we did. It is now live.
And how's it doing?
It's slow, but that's okay because it takes a hot minute. And Ananda, everything I tag you in, I need for you to share, like, click, and share because
Okay.
that's how it's going to help get it out. I am giving you all the tools that you need to promote, but you got to be consistent. Consistency is the key. Talk it up at work. Contact my daughter, Brandy Highfield, who has probably friended you. She is our, ladies and gentlemen, she is our public relations pimp.
She calls herself the book pimp.
She's the book pimp. Because she will take your bookmarks or any swag you send her, she will hand it out at work. And she will talk up your book till the cows come home. That's what she does.
You have to tell the story about Jennifer.
Okay. Jennifer is a lady where Brandy works. And Jennifer has a 12-year-old daughter named Jada. Jada won a book writing contest at school. So the school put she came in the top 5. So they put Jada's book up in the school in a case, and the parents could buy it for $25 because it was a private print. So Brandy said, I got to hook up. So she was telling Jennifer about Midnight Publishing and that we don't charge because this is a God-driven house. And would Jada be interested in getting her book out there and selling it at a reasonable cost? So Jennifer went home and talked to Jada. Jada was all excited. So Gwendolyn gave Brandy bookmarks. Mary sent Brandy bookmarks. Gwendolyn sent a book for Jada, and it got taken home to Jada, and 2 little ones got their knickers in a twist. A 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. Jada got books. No, it was Carol Bellavance that sent the bookmarks and the books, because Jada took the Christian inspirational books, and Jada took it to school. So the 2 little ones got their knickers in a twist. Jada got a book and we didn't. So Brandy's telling the story on our live. So Gwendolyn Law, who lives in the same town with Brandy, took Brandy bookmarks, took Brandy a coloring book for the 6-year-old. Because time we didn't know about the 4-year-old. So when the 6-year-old got the coloring books, the 4-year-old said, where's mine? Because he wanted to color, and the 6-year-old said, no, you can't color. It's mine. So Jennifer came back, told Brandy the story. So Gwendolyn got Brandy some coloring books for the 4-year-old. Brandy took them to the 4-year-old. And when she brought the 4-year-old coloring book, she also gave Brandy a copy of her book, Fractured Soul, for the mother, and autographed. Brandy takes those to Jennifer. Jennifer takes Fractured Soul home. Come to find out, there is a 14-year-old. The 14-year-old looks at the book and says, that's mine. Jennifer, the mother, said, no, it's autographed to me. And the 14-year-old says, I'm taking it, and I'm taking it to school. It is mine.
I am sending Brandy a box full of books.
So Jennifer's telling Brandy the story, and she says, I've got to order this child a Fractured Soul because I want mine back. So Brandy showed her where to order it on Amazon. So Ananda, I tell this story to tell you our book pimp works. may have a new author that caters to their company on Wednesday nights because she was talking to him last night giving out bookmarks, and he's got a book he wants to publish. Our book pimp at her finest.
And she's not just passing out books and bookmarks that we send her. She promotes us so actively on Facebook. And I haven't checked if she's on other platforms, but she probably is. And she's wherever she sees that we post anything about our books. And sometimes it's not just about our books. I will post other things, and she'll share them. So it's getting the word out in a way that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. It's marketing at its finest.
So that's why I say, if you haven't friended her, go on the Midnight Publishing page and look her up and friend her, and then get some bookmarks made. That's very important. And say, Brandy, I want to send you some bookmarks for Together We Can.
And you can also use your Love is Forever. Put that on there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Whatever books you have out there, put it on your bookmark. And wherever you can be contacted, whether it's Facebook or if you have a website, you can use Midnight Publishing. Also, make sure Midnight Publishing is on there, because it all works together. I'm telling y'all, God is good. God is so good. So, without further ado, I want to turn it over to Ananda and let her talk about her journey, how she came to us, why she wrote Together We Can, and the importance of that book, of teaching adults and children alike that together we can change one thing and one event at a time. We need to be the change we want to see. We don't, well, there's somebody out there that can do it. Well, you're somebody, even if it's a small thing. So, Ananda, take it away, honey. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, ladies. I love you, ladies. Just wanted to say that.
Well, you're very loved too, honey.
We love you back.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. Peace, love, and gratitude. My name is Ananda Rose. And wow, never thought I'd be here. And when I say that, let me just clarify. I love writing. My mom, if you all remember the Cabbage Patch Kids, but my first journal was it was a Cabbage Patch journal my mom got me. I was about 10. And it had this, on the cover, it was just pink, and it had these cute green dots, and then one of the pictures of the Cabbage Patch dolls. And so it was a short size journal book. And I was like, well, Mom, what am I supposed to write in here? She's like, whatever you want, whatever you feel, write about your day. So that's how I started on my journey with writing. And then I couldn't stop. And then I realized that every time I would write, it would always be about peace and love. Peace for the world, peace for us all to get along, for us to love on one another, all those things. And that carried all the way through to my adult journey. So I wrote plenty of poems. My mom even put a lot of my poems, and she made the book herself. Unfortunately, I don't know where it is now, but yes, she had put all of my poems. I had so many, enough to put it into a book that she created. I was like, okay, I love writing. Writing is therapy for me. Writing is soothing to the soul. And I just kept writing. And with all of my life experiences, things that have transpired over the years, even now I'll be 49 on the 29th. And just looking at all of the different life experiences along this life journey, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start putting things together to write books for adults, like my journey. inspiration, like self-help, all those things. Then I started working with I call them my little young star seeds. I work with this company and helping with the kids, helping them with their academics and helping them with health. And the first book was Love is Forever. I was talking with Mary about it. Next thing I know, we had a book that was published. I was like, did I just do a children's book? What? Huh? And when that was published, I had already written most of Together We Can. It just came like that. And I'm saying that too because Mary had a lot to play in motivating me, especially in my moments of just grief and a lot going on with my situation at the time. And the students as well. I don't know. There was just something in me that I just started writing. I just kept going as far as the Love is Forever. And then I was like, oh, let me go again. Together We Can. I was like, okay, well, I have this Love is Forever. Let me now move on back into the adult books I was going to write. Together We Can came out, another children's book. And even when I was talking with Mary, yeah, I was talking with Mary and she was like, well, it could be for children and adults. I was like, that's true. Because when I read it, I'm like, oh, yes. It reminds me, to come back to peace and us, the positivity and us all helping one another, basically. Simple, right? And so, yeah, it's been an experience. It's been an exciting experience. And now I'm like, okay, well, I have two. You gotta have three. You gotta have three. It just wouldn't feel right if I didn't do the third one. I started working more towards my self-care books that I want to write. I started working more towards that, but I'm still like focusing on the third children's book. I just wanted to be three of them. And so anyway, Mary has been very helpful with that. She connected me with Yvonne. And here I am now. Together We Can is published. And now I'm like, all right, well, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to get more into being consistent with, putting it out there and everything for Together We Can. And then move on to whatever the third one is going to be.
The thing about Midnight Publishing, Ananda, the more you are involved with Midnight Publishing, because it is God driven, things are going to happen and you're going to say, what just happened?
Yeah,
How did this happen?
That's my experience for sure.
Because
when you learn to let go of the need for perfection and the need to control the outcome, and you learn to trust the process, which it's an easy thing to say, but trusting the process means you trust the people that God puts in your path. And for me, that's Yvonne. Doing that has opened me up and freed me so that I can do so much more than I could do when I was trying to manage the world by myself.
And I don't sleep, so this is easy for me.
Her insomnia is our blessing.
Exactly. and the thing with about Midnight Publishing, Ananda, is when I started this, where I am now was not my goal. My publisher died, and I had two friends that were going to be left out in the cold. I knew I could take care of myself. But these two friends, one who he had waited 25 years for his children's book to be out there, and the other one, she's 85, and she said, what am I going to do now? She had published 6 books, and she didn't publish till she was 80 years old, and that was because I drug her kicking and screaming into this world. And I said, well, let me go home and think about this. Let me pray. Let me think about this. So, and I'm sitting at home minding my own business, having a conversation with God, and this voice says, if not you, who? If not now, when? And I went, what? What? You heard me? It's your turn. Okay. I can do this. So I went back to church and I told my friends, I says, well, You have a publisher? And they said, who? I said, you're looking at her. And from there it morphed. We have not even been in business for 2 years yet. June of 2026 will be our 2-year anniversary. We're seen all over the world. We're an international bookseller. We have 20 something authors. Just got a new one's book ready to go up today. His name is Roy Owenby. His book will go up today. He's in shock because he said, I didn't expect to hear from you for a month. I'm working on another children's book by Maggie Bristol. Sherry Ann Richardson sent me her gardening books. You're working on another book. Mary's working on another book. Ellie Ryan's working on another book. The thing is, Midnight Publishing gives a voice to indie authors, and not only gives them a voice, that we give them a platform, we give them marketing tools, we give them exposure that no other publishing house does. Ananda, how many publishing houses do you know that have their authors on TikTok, on YouTube, on Riverside, all over Facebook, all over Instagram, does 7 and 11-second videos and puts them up all over God's little green acre, does lives every morning? You don't see that.
Nope.
What I love is after this show is over, Yvonne's going to put it up, and Riverside takes it automatically to all these other platforms. But then Yvonne will go back and do what they call magic clips and make 2-minute shorter videos. Because, people get tired. People lose interest.
Their attention span is short.
It's about 30 seconds.
Yep.
Maybe
They don't
30
have the
seconds.
attention span. So she can create small little snippets, little sound bites that you can then take and use to promote your book. She'll capture you talking about your book. And I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about Together We Can. Give us a little, like a sneak peek inside the book. When parents buy this book, what are they going to see that we can do together? What kinds of things are in there?
So it talks about helping with the environment. So you'll see about the little sea turtle. There's a little blurb about that. There's a little blurb about helping with the community. So it's just different things, the environment, the community, even having fun together. Right? Doesn't matter the age. So you got young ones, older ones, people of different backgrounds, all coming together in love, basically, in love and in support of one another. And it's really just a coming together and reminding adults and then helping children to see the benefits and the power and the positivity when we work together, when we come together as a collective and just help one another out. To me, it's a simple concept that just shows reminders for the adults and then helps the kids, helps our young ones to see that, hey, together we can. Yes, we can, as long as we're together.
And it's a great way to start a conversation.
Yes.
If a kid comes and says, well, I feel left out, I feel alone, nobody plays with me or whatever, then the parents can pull out that book and go, well, together we can turn this around.
And would it be fair to say, Ananda, that it is not only together we can to change the environment, but together we can have acceptance of each other, no matter ethnicity, religion, disabilities, challenges, rich, poor, whatever. We are human beings first. And as human beings, and especially adults, we need to teach our children that acceptance is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Acceptance is the key. And again, it's well, not again, but it's also about mindset. Mindset, even for the little ones
Yes.
and the adults. And that's why I bring the importance up as far as the reminders, because we as adults need the reminders too, because oftentimes we get so focused in our own little small situations in our little silos. And my thinking also when putting this book together is like, okay, when we're helping others, we're also helping ourselves. So we help
Yeah.
the collective, we help the collective, we help ourselves individually as well, and even in our small silos. So it all coincides, it commingles, it works together. So that's that. And I was like, let me just keep it simple just to remind folks, hey, we can do this. It doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is that we're here together. Okay, there's all of us here. So what can we do to improve, to enhance and better the environment, better our communities? So
Would it also be
Would it
fair to
also
say,
be fair to say,
Anata, that
Ananda, that
mankind is the only creature that destroys his home?
mm-hmm,
Nature does not destroy. Animals don't kill for the sport of killing. They kill to eat. And every bit of the kill is
mm-hmm.
eaten by the hierarchy in the animal kingdom. And then the bones, of course, go back to dust and refurbish the earth. Man, on the other hand, he will put in a concrete jungle just because he's greedy. Right now in my community, it's mating season for the gators. They have
Ah,
nowhere to go, so there's a canal behind my house. There's 3 ponds in our community, and guess now what we have in our ponds? Gators. People get all upset. Well, we've taken their environment away from them because,
they were here first.
right. So not only do we have to protect the environment by doing cleanup and building houses and but we have to protect the environment by not overdeveloping. Would that be a fair statement to teach folks, Anata?
Absolutely. Because we forget, we forget that we are, how do I say this? We forget that there's a separatist concept taking place, right? To keep us divided.
Right.
There's an agenda, an intention to keep us divided, and we forget that. And we're so programmed and used to it growing up, from generation to generation, and we forget that, oh wait, there's so much more to this.
Yes.
And the simple thing, like you mentioned, as far as Mother Nature, the creatures, as far as animals, all of this. And that's why you see that as far as the sea turtles and everything, we're all in this together. And like Mary said, yeah, they were here first, but yet we sit here as people and we forget about the pollution that we put out there
Yeah.
to that harms the people, that harms all of God's creation. Basically, let me just say that that'll sum it up as far as all of that. But we forget that, and we need to come back to that and remember that it don't really work.
No.
It don't work if we ain't coming together. That's just, and that's a
Exactly.
simple concept. That's a simple concept that I know that I feel called to bring back to us all.
I want to
Go
I
ahead,
want to
Mary.
say I want to say something because there's a lot of complexity with what we've been talking about. Because Ananda said that together we can needed to be written. It came forward. You wanted to write something else, but this book said no. You write me.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how it's to remind adults as well as children. And then I had to look it up because I wasn't exactly sure who said this, but I had remembered a quote. Madeline L'Engle, who wrote A Wrinkle in Time, said, you have to write the book that wants to be written. And if the book will be too difficult for the grown-ups, then write it for the children. And that's exactly what you did with Together We Can. You wrote the book that said, I want to be written. And you wrote the book for children because children can handle complex issues like separation and how we can fix the environment, how we can play together as a family, how we can save the sea turtles and the other creatures of the world. You don't have to make a book this thick that gives a how-to description. You just put the idea out there and the children will figure it out. So bravo to you. You have no idea how proud I am that you came forward with this. I'm really,
the children
really
are
excited to see it take off.
Our children are our future.
Yes.
And if we do not allow the children to learn from the past of our idiocies, the pattern will repeat itself. And your book is an eye-opening learning book for children to understand that at some point we have to say enough, and we have to say, okay, when I grow up, this is what I'm doing to continue this journey. Everybody wants to be an astronaut, or everybody wants to be a fireman, or everybody wants to be a policeman, or everybody wants to be this, that, or the other thing. And if this book touches one child's life, that this child grows up to be, for lack of a better word, and yes, this word is misused, an environmentalist, that can encompass a lot of things. Doesn't necessarily a banner waving, we're going to save the mosquito. An environmentalist.
Please don't save the mosquito.
An environmentalist means someone who takes care of what God has given us so that it's here for future generations.
If you remember the song by Whitney Houston, I actually talked to one of the principals about it, and actually that also helped me it kind of nudged me into writing as far as with the children's books. I have talked to one of the principals. I was like, you remember the song? I actually played it when I was talking with her. And it's the Whitney Houston song. I believe our children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. We were listening to it, and then we both ended up in tears. Because it was like, wow, even just that song, it brings you back to the fact that, yes, they are the future. So if they are the future, then what are we going to do to help them and lead them and guide them? We got to do more than what we're doing.
Exactly.
And we need to do it collectively together. Yes. And we can when we do come together as far as all of that. So when you were talking, Yvonne, I was like, oh, the song was singing in my head as you were talking about the children are our future. I was like, oh, wait, that's another big thing of how I got to writing this book. The Together We Can.
Chat message.
Bonnie just chimed in. She said, love that song.
Oh, yay, Bonnie. Yes, me too.
We can always rely on Dar and Bonnie being in our chat room. I love that you ladies come and join us.
And again, Ananda, this is yet another God thing, because the doorway was opened for you to bring this book to us. God has given us a tool to take back out to the world. So the way that you can market this on your end, since you have an in with teachers and principals in the school system, is to try to get this book into the school libraries. And that's the way you approach it, is the way that we have discussed it here on this podcast. that it's not just about a moment in time where together we can go out and clean up the beaches and then just move on with our life. Together We Can is something that is an ongoing project that will build upon itself. All it takes is two people or one person, and it will build upon itself. So I challenge you with your inroads to get these books into your areas where you are, and we can work a deal with the principals. They don't have to buy them at full price, but you will still make money. I know how to work that little deal.
Of course. Yes.
And don't be shy about this, because this is something you're very passionate about. And when someone is passionate, it is easy to make the sale. It is easy to show someone how important the product is, because you're the brand, but your product is your book.
Mm-hmm.
And your brand is, I am Ananda Rose. I am an author. I am an environmentalist. I am an activist for keeping our world safe, stable, and growing. Yes, Mary.
We talked about this yesterday. You and I did, Yvonne.
Yes.
No, I apologize. It wasn't you. It was David, Kiki's husband, a new author who's coming on board. He and I talked about how about 10 or 15 years ago, you heard all the gurus, the entrepreneurial people, the experts say, if you would like to be an expert in your field, write a book. Ananda, you have written the book. You have a tool that you can take to these schools, to the principals, to the librarians, and you can show them, I am a published author. I have this book. I can come and speak to you. I can speak to I can read. I can do a book signing. But let's get the book in the libraries so the children can read it. And it's on digital, Yvonne?
Yes, it's on Kindle and it is in paperback.
Okay. So that's another marketing tool, that it's not just in the paperback, it's also on Kindle, and it can be downloaded. I know the library systems in, the public libraries do this, so I can't imagine that the school libraries aren't capable of doing digital books, because there are children that don't, for whatever reasons, they maybe cannot hold a book. There are children with disabilities that prevents them from holding a book. Something you might consider also is recording it. You've got a lovely voice. You can record this and make that available to them as a bonus. If they buy your book, put it in the school library, you'll give them an Audible that they can then, because Yvonne and I have talked about this many, many times, how a child can look at the Kindle or the print book and listen to the Audible and learn to read that way.
What I am hoping is at some point Amazon, with their Audible program, will open it up to children's books.
They will.
It's just, and as soon as they do, I'm putting all the children's books up there for children. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I saw that look.
I also have a chat message from Bonnie, but there's so many things going on up here right now. We can use Riverside to create our Audible books. Maybe we get Chris, C.R. Dunham, to read them.
But there's no cost value. There's no way that I can pay my authors.
That's true. But it could be an added benefit to our readers.
Something to think about.
Something to ponder. The message from Bonnie was, I appreciate you and your time spent helping us learn. Bonnie, that's what we do. Yvonne and I live to serve others, and Ananda too, because she was also on our board of directors at Be Unique. There's so many people that have come into my life as a result of Be Unique. And I had somebody ask me, well, it was David again. I met him through Be Unique. And he said he hadn't heard that the organization is no longer organized. So he was a little sad to hear that. He thought that he just had gotten out of the loop. I said, no, the string has come untied. And he was sad. I said, no, 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 don't be sad. It served its purpose.
Mhm.
Everything comes into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And Be Unique's season is over. But the reason was to bring so many amazing people into my world. Because right now in front of you, Bonnie and Dar, you've got 3 educators. We might not be in the classroom, except for Ananda. She's a tutor, and she just lives to help other people learn more things. But that's what we do. That's why we do this show once a week. So that, and that's why we have the classes once a month. So we can teach more people more things. Yvonne and I've had the conversation. We know that it would be a shame, and I think it would be a sin if we were to have the knowledge that we possess and just keep it to ourselves. Bonnie just said, yes, we do.
God would get real upset with me. I know he would. Because knowledge is only knowledge until you give it to someone else. Then it becomes wisdom. And Anada, you have that knowledge that you can turn into wisdom.
Mhm.
And when you're ready to order author copies of your books, let me know. I need you to set up a PayPal account because that's how we go back and forth with the funds, both your royalties and getting paid and paying me for your books. But you now have the knowledge of that book. You now have the tool to put with that knowledge to give it to the children.
Mhm.
That was the purpose of God saying, no, you're not writing an adult book today. You writing this book. Just put that other, no, not happening, Captain. The children, remember, the children. That's important, the children. So everything comes together in God's time and in God's way.
Mhm. Absolutely. Just like it brought me back to the kids with what I'm doing now with working with them, because before that I was teaching, but it was college students, right? In the actual classroom, I was teaching at the college level. I was a college professor, and I was loving it. And some reason, well, I'm not going to say for some reason, it it brought me back to the youth. So after my mom transitioned, the funny thing is she transitioned, passed away unexpectedly in 2020. She always wanted to do things for the kids. She had all these ideas. She would draw as far as the building, what it would look like. The building would have different levels. One would be a library for the kids. One would be a floor of just, as far as play, all of this that she had as far as these visions. And of course, I supported it, loved it. Me, I was more so thinking I was going to be working with adults, college students, not saying that I won't still, but it's just interesting how it turns around to me and now working with the kids, and I love them. They've been my inspiration and bringing me to where I am now. So yeah, I just go with the flow. I'm I find it funny and interesting, and I look forward to the journey and what unfolds. I really do. So, and I'm grateful for you both. So,
Well, we're grateful for you so much.
Dar just said, together we can.
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences anyway.
No.
And my son even said the other day, Mom, I'm so grateful that for whatever brought you and Yvonne together. has done that, because now here I am, a published author. And every step that I've taken in my life has led me to exactly where I am. And just like you said, Ananda, you thought that your path was taking you toward college students, but yet your path, it did for a moment, but now it's doing something different. And we are where we are for a reason. And we, sometimes our path might look like a twister game, where we're twisted in several different directions. Very seldom are our paths in life a straight linear point A to point B.
Absolutely.
You want to go to point QRMP before you get back to A. And that is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as long as we roll with that and go with the punches, and like you said, be flexible, be willing to stay where you are for the moment and then move when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Life is like a dance.
And
Yes.
the thing with the young children that most people don't really realize is the wee ones are curious. They are excited to learn new things. They soak everything up like a sponge, and you might think, oh, they're not paying attention. They're off doing something else. Oh, honey, they're paying lots of attention. When my son was little, we were at his grandparents' house, and we as adults were carrying on a conversation. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And he was sitting on the floor playing with a toy train. And all of a sudden, he said something that pertained to the conversation. And he wasn't but 4 or 5 years old. So adults forget. Children listen, and sometimes they hear things they shouldn't hear because we tend to think that they're invisible. They are not invisible.
Mm-hmm.
That message.
When you said children are sponges, Bonnie said amen to that.
Soak
My
stuff.
mother used to say little rabbits have big ears.
Yep.
And that was her way of telling my father, this is an adult conversation, let's take it somewhere else. Because he never thought that his children were paying attention. We paid more attention than we should have, probably.
And I do not find that true in dealing with these little wee ones, these little sponges.
Yes, because when we focus on the academics, they always want to ask me questions outside of the academics. Then they don't want to get off because everything I do is online. Then they don't want to get off the Zoom. No, I don't want to get off. Wait, but we were just having so a good conversation. I'm like, I know, but I got another student. Oh,
Sorry, your time is up.
I feel so bad, but they've connected with me. So because we have these beautiful,
yeah.
yes, we have these beautiful conversations because naturally I'm teaching them and I'm guiding them as far as other things because like you said, they're curious. So they're always asking me questions. And plus I teach the health part as well, which has actually given me another idea as far as the children's book because they're always my sessions are different in the sense that we focus on breathing because a lot of them get frustrated as far as if they get something wrong and just or they feel like they can't get it. They keep saying, I just can't get it. And their emotions are running all everywhere. So I give them a little bit of what I teach in our cultivating health sessions. And the breathing, just the simple piece of breathing is everything. And as we're talking about this and I'm listening to you ladies, I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I know what the third one's going to be now that we're talking about it because, oh, go ahead.
Before I get into Bonnie's message, I want to say, since my heart attack, I've had to learn to slow everything down. And Yvonne will tell you sometimes I get really animated and excited. And she'll just say, Mary, breathe. Because I lose my breath. I get so excited about, I love what we're doing here, but I can talk too much. Can you imagine that? But, but I have to stop. I have to stop and breathe. And it is so important that we teach our children to be mindful with their breath. It's not just something we do automatically. It needs to be something we do mindfully. But Bonnie, we were talking about the children being sponges and hearing things. And Bonnie said, and they don't forget.
No.
Hunter can bring up events that happened or things that were said years ago. Now, I don't know how old Hunter is.
Hunter is 14 or 15 now.
Okay.
I have a Hunter as far as my student. He's one of my ones where we focus a lot on the breathing. I don't even have to guide him anymore because in our health sessions, we practice that. And then when we're on to the academic side and those sessions, and he gets frustrated, I say, okay, Hunter, what do you need to do? You need to take a moment. What do you need to do? And he says, breathe. And then he takes his moment. That's the beauty of this in the session. When he needs that moment, he does it. And he already has the tools. He does it on his own. That's funny. She said, Hunter. That's my one student that, is very memorable. I'll say that.
Dart spelled out Breath. And Bonnie said that Hunter's 15.
He's 15. So I said 14 or 15. When I get potential, and Mary and I both have had this, I want to write a book. Okay, what's stopping you? I can't. And the first words out of my mouth is, that is not a word in our vocabulary here at Midnight Publishing. We do not.
Dart has a Hunter too.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Can't is not a word because can't means you do not have the ability. Won't means you have the ability, but you choose not to use it.
You asked my son in his podcast when he was like, I'm not doing AI Audible. I'm going to hire me a professional. My book is too valuable for that. And she asked him a couple of questions. He said, well, I can't. She said, you can't or you won't. And he said, well, I can't. 24 hours later, he's emailing her, I've changed my mind. He didn't change his mind. God changed his mind.
And
overnight.
There's one thing about it. One cannot argue with logic and facts. There's two things you can't argue with: logic and facts. You can argue opinion, you can debate opinion, you can argue untruth, but you cannot argue or debate facts and logic. And it's all logical. Ananda, I have a brother that's mentally and physically challenged, and he was never supposed to do anything except exist until he died. Well, somebody forgot to tell him that he couldn't, so he did. So can't is not in his vocabulary. And he's taught me more than I could ever teach him by his attitude of, I can do this. So when somebody says, I can't, my question is okay, you can't because you don't have the ability, or you can't because you won't?
Mm-hmm.
So when a child's saying, well, I can't, say, okay, let's break this down. Are you able to breathe? Uh-huh. Are you able to think? Uh-huh. Are you able to reason? Uh-huh. So can't is not in your vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability, but you choose not to, which is won't.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Nothing beats a can't but a try.
Exactly. And to try and not have accomplished it is not failure. Failure is not is not even putting forth an effort. That's failure.
Yeah. And what does Yoda say? And you repeat it all the time.
Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. Because either if you do it, it's a decision. If you
Yeah.
don't
Hmm.
do it, it's a decision. If
Hmm.
you try, you're sitting on a wooden fence, and all you're going to get is splinters up your butt.
Those don't feel good.
No.
So just just a few
I'm
times.
really loving this laugh track.
Oh Lord, we created a monster.
Sorry.
It's okay. This is
I
why we're.
didn't, I didn't know that was an option. I see the react button, and
Which yet,
I'm gonna have to do this and see what happens. Nothing. It just puts a little
No.
celebrate up there. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Mary, it's a thing that I use when I when I'm
Oh, okay.
my
I
little
thought it was
my
the
little
react
shows.
button.
Yeah, nope. Nope.
so
That's really cool,
so
though.
that's some new tools for you to use with your children, and it might even spur a children's book from one of you two ladies, can't versus won't.
Mm. Yeah.
George just said ouch, and I'm not sure why.
Because I said the only thing you get is splinters in your butt, and it
Oh,
don't.
that's right. Yeah. My squirrel brain has already forgotten.
And this is why our show is unscripted, Anada, because
Mhm.
we just go off in every different direction.
I love it. Yeah.
But I want to come back to your first book.
Hmm.
Is it moving at all?
No.
All right, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
To give me an answer today,
Okay.
you don't have to give me an answer tomorrow. What if you unpublish it and send it over here to us so we can add it to your repertoire?
Mm.
Don't give me an answer. You don't have to give an answer. Because that's what got Mary started on her journey with me.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I say because I have to give it a new ISBN number and yada, yada, yada.
And she can give
Okay.
me graphics.
And
Oh, okay.
and what happens is, again, it goes up everywhere. We do the videos. We'll push both of them together because the only thing that our world knows right now is this is your debut novel. Together We Can is your
Hmm.
debut novel. They don't know this
Yeah.
is already out there.
Right.
We
Hmm.
need to let people know, hey, she's out there, and we need to put those two books together because think about this, Anata. Those two books can be marketed together with a common theme.
Well, and the third one that's coming too. So it
I
wouldn't
mean,
be right if you have the second and the third one and then not the first one, right?
Exactly.
you just solidified my case for me,
Okay.
defense attorney.
You know, it's great to publish a book because only 5% of the people who say they want to write a book actually follow through and publish a book. So we are an elite group. This is why people go, oh, my friend is a published author.
Hmm.
But I have a sister who actually introduces me that way to everybody. This is my sister. She publishes books. But it's not enough to just say, I've written a book and it's on Amazon. You've got to constantly promote it and promote yourself. You've got to get out there. And I know you're not a big social media person. My son isn't either. But he's seeing the benefits of it finally. Bonnie just said, I like that. We were talking about, I forgot that she said it a few minutes ago. And Dar said amen. But yet we have to, and that's what I love about Midnight Publishing. Because we talked earlier about how Brandy is our book pimp and she promotes us like crazy. But there are others, you know, Bonnie does, Dar does, and Dale does, Gwendolyn, um, and there are a few more that just slipped right out of my head. But they, you know, Yvonne has this little mantra: like and share, like and share. Click the like
I
button.
love it.
Leave a comment if Facebook hasn't banned you. But make communicate with each other. There are only 2 dozen of us authors at Midnight Publishing, but we are a powerful group. I work with Andrea Van Scoyoc. Oh my heavens. She's been making miniature movies, basically, out of my poems from one of the books, and I'm using it to promote this book. She does this for free. You can't get this kind of free PR anywhere else.
As Anada, as you get more integrated into the family, you're going to see such a closeness. And yeah, you're probably going to start getting stuff in your email. Oh, I can help you out. I can help you do this. I can help you do that. I see you're not getting any traction. I can help you do this. And then they go, only for $199 in the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that's what we prevent. Sarah Benson got one the other day, and she politely wrote back, my publisher handles all of my PR marketing. Thank you very much.
Yes. I love that.
Because they want to suck you in. And we don't allow that. On TikTok the other day, somebody hit up one of Gwendolyn's videos and said that the book cover was AI and the video was AI. Well, she smacked him down, and then I stomped on him. I said, excuse me, you don't know what you're talking about. The book cover is a graphic. The video is an AI that is created. If you don't know what you're talking about, keep your mouth shut because you look foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Have not heard from that person again.
People don't like to be told they're wrong. And what they don't understand is when they get into Yvonne's litter box, they're going to get more than sand on them.
It gets ugly. Very protective. I'm very protective of my authors because they are under my care. I've invited them into this environment. And I know of no other publishing house that does that with their authors. Sherry Ann Richardson was on with us not too long ago, and she was with Penguin for her gardening books. The girl never got paid. She got a 5-figure advance, but out of that 5-figure advance, she had to pay for 1,000 books, her marketing, her agent, and plus she didn't sell enough books to offset the advance, so she had to pay all that back.
And if she sold any books, she only got 3% in royalties. Guess how much you get, Ananda? 70. The rest goes to Amazon. Yvonne takes nothing off the top. And also, Penguin would not have allowed Sherry to make bookmarks to send to somebody to give away. They controlled what she could market, where she could market. They controlled when and where she could attend book signing events. Yvonne doesn't tell us what we can do with our books. She doesn't tell us, don't go speak at this organization. Don't put your books in that library. She's encouraging us to do just the opposite. But these big houses, these big publishing houses that everybody wants to get into, they control every aspect of your life as an author. Also, they made her sign a contract, and then they dropped the hammer on her. I might have the numbers wrong, but they gave her like 2 or 3 weeks to complete 17 chapters.
Wow.
Or her contract was voided.
Yeah.
And she stayed up all night, all day. her husband brought her food. She said, I only went to the bathroom. I took naps. I didn't sleep until I was finished. She worked herself into a frenzy to try to, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to write for Penguin? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you can't sell the books that they make you buy fast enough to get a second printing, then it's useless.
And the sad part is, they had a marketing department, but it only put news releases in a couple of newspapers, and that was all they did, and they charged an astronomical price for it.
I think she's at $5,000.
Yeah, so there was no continual marketing, and that's what these houses do. It's vanity press houses, small press houses, none of them do what we do here. All they want to do is roll out books with a mediocre cover and say, here it is, go for it. And they hope they have snagged the author's fan base enough that it's like a book addiction. They keep buying and buying and buying. Well, here, we don't have a formula like they do. We don't box in our authors to write in one genre, to write in one grouping, as in children versus adults. They don't know how to mark. All right, let's take Maniphage, for example, by Aaron Frakes. Maniphage is not just a science fiction book. It is magic, it is technology, it is science fiction, it is a thriller, it is suspense, it is futuristic.
Coming of age.
Coming of age. They didn't know. They didn't know how to market it. I do, because I don't have a box.
Mm-hmm.
The only box you've got is a soapbox.
That's true, and I can get on it and quick fast and in a hurry, no problem. Your book, Coming Together We Can, is not just about saving the environment. There's layers in this little children's books of individual acceptance of ourselves, individual acceptance of others, embracing ourselves, embracing others, coming together to not just save the environment, but Habitat for Humanity, to help someone else succeed. Planting a garden. During World War II, they had what they call victory gardens, where women took little plots of land. Some of them in New York were no bigger than almost a planter box. They planted victory gardens because there was a food shortage. They had what they called vouchers, where they went and stood in food lines for basics. So they planted victory gardens. Those victory gardens, when they came into fruition, they gathered the food and they distributed it among their neighborhood. That's part of your book, as we plant gardens for the community to help feed the community. And with the prices of food right now, I say bring victory gardens back.
Yes.
Together we can. We teach others how to make homemade bread, how to sew, even if it's by hand, simple patching of clothes. There's so much that we can teach our young ones. And then the young ones can. The art of sewing is going by the wayside. The art of recycling things that my grandparents taught me to recycle as a child. My grandmother saved aluminum foil and reused it until it was shredded, because you had to. So Together We Can, plus the other book, all brings all of this forward, and that's how we can market it. That's why I made the suggestion I made, especially with this third book coming out. It all plays together.
Yep. Makes total sense. I love it. And I love these discussions, ladies. Thank you. It's fun. It's so fun.
You're going to come off of this podcast and you're going to go, oh, my head's spinning. Are you going to wake up in the middle of the night and went, oh, I got to do
What did
this
I say
now?
I was going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
taking notes because I get these wild ideas, and if I don't take notes, then by the time I'm finished, I've forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
But we learn so much from each other.
Yeah.
For a long time, Yvonne and I were the only ones doing these shows, and we would pick a topic and we'd maybe talk about it. Usually we'd say today's topic is, and then we'd start
Mm-hmm.
about something else, and we'd circle back around to it. But we started bringing our authors on, and it's been phenomenal. Um, I think next week we're having Rose Patrick.
Mm.
If she finds her way, yeah. If she
She
finds
said she could push a button.
okay.
I think there's going to be a link to click because she's like technologically challenged. I said there's going to be a link. You click the link, it'll take you where you need to go, and you just push a button. Everything's done for you. Um, and then April 1st, we're having Dale Veely. We've already had Bonnie on. When we make the circuit, we'll bring you back, Bonnie. Dar will come on eventually. We're working through her schedule right now.
We've
And I
had
know
Ellie
Linda,
Ryan on.
we had Ellie Ryan, we had Carol Bella Vance. That was a very informative, but Sherry Ann's show was really informative.
And we're going to have the book pimp on too. We will probably just have to do a day when she's off, like
Yeah,
a Friday or a Saturday, because she works at night and she has to sleep a little bit during the day. But oh, and after today, Mary, I will only have 2 more weeks of bowling,
of
and
bowling, okay.
yeah, and then when I start back up in June, it'll be at night. So on a Wednesday night. So we can either stay at 10:30 or we can go back to 11. It's your preference. But we are drawing to the end of this podcast because I have to leave at 12. So Ananda Rose's book, Together We Can. Go get it. It is on Amazon. It is live. Pimp it to your libraries, pimp it to your grandchildren, to your great grandchildren, to an adult, to schools. Anada's going to start on her end. What closing remarks have you got, Anada?
I guess I would say for those that are still questioning whether their writing will actually manifest into a published book, you can keep questioning it and you can also do something about it. Okay. It's not the fact that you have a beautiful resource and support like Midnight Publishing. There's really no excuse, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't really matter if you think that it's going to be, if you think whether or not it's going to be good enough. What matters is that you just put it out there and you see what happens. You put your
Exactly.
effort out there, and invest in yourself. And again, when we're talking about the book, Together We Can, that's that right there is the fact that we have the support like Midnight Publishing. It just makes it all even more worth it as far as to put the investment in, to put the effort in. Have fun with it. I had so much fun. This was what I forgot to mention. I had so much fun with doing both books. And when I finished it, even before I finished it, I would read it out loud. And it's funny, Mary, because you said as far as audio, I would love to put it as far as audio with my voice. And I would read it all the time out loud. And when I finished it, I would read it out loud. Man, and it felt so good because I know my intentions in writing it. I know the authenticity and the passion in writing it, and it was so much fun. So that's the biggest thing I would leave with everyone is to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey with your, whether you're writing your messy brain part, the messy brain, call it the messy brain because, you know, you're just writing whatever before you organize it. Enjoy it, have fun with it. Don't stress, fret about it. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, have fun with your writing and have fun with whatever comes from that. No worries. Just flow.
And just like you said, you never thought you'd be where you are right today, here on this podcast. And here you are.
Right. And honestly, when you said as far as live on March 9th, I was like, oh, it's the second book out. I, This is so exciting. It really is fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy that we're coming on here. Look, I'm learning more about Riverside. Now I'm going to come on here and look and see what more I can do with Riverside because, you know, this is new. So we're learning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chat message, chat message.
Bonnie said that's great advice.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mary, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
Go look up Ananda Rose on Amazon. If you can't remember that, go to Midnight Publishing and find all of our authors. Look us up on Amazon. See what we've got to offer. Almost, well, I'm going to say all of our books, except for maybe Yvonne. Almost all of our books are very inspirational. Yvonne writes true crime, and it has its own kind of inspiration. But look us up, find out who we are, learn about the authors, what our journeys are, and leave a review. Leave a comment. Let us know that you're paying attention. I had a friend one time, school friend, I met her in the 6th grade, and we both attended the funeral of another classmate years back. And Martha looked at me and she goes, I am so proud of everything you're doing. This was before I'd published my first book. And I said, how do you know what I do? She said, oh, I've been trolling you on Facebook. I said, you never leave a message. I didn't even know you were following me. She said, no, I don't leave a message for anybody. I would highly encourage people, if you don't want to leave a message, leave a thumbs up, leave a smiley face or a heart. Let us know you're there.
Or even a DM.
Yeah, send us a private message, but we want to know that we're making a difference. Every one of the authors at Midnight Publishing has written from the heart. We've written something that we want to share with you. Otherwise, we would just keep it in a journal and lock it away. But we've published these books because we want to share our messages with the world. So don't ignore us. Let us know you're there.
Or I'll hunt them in their dreams, I mean.
Yeah.
Just saying. Look at Ananda. Ananda, as you get to know me, Ananda, I am slightly twisted. Definitely different, but I'm cute.
Yes.
Jars love
Yes.
sound effects too, by the way.
Oh, good.
They're cute.
So, Ananda, we will have you back. I can't wait to get the new book. Can't wait to get the first book so that we
Yes.
get you on a roll and get you going. And friend Brandy, get some bookmarks, send them to her, because I'm going to tell you, I know of 2 little kids that would fight over them. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, bless them. And
Bonnie just sent something, but I can't see it. It's just a blank probably a little emoticon.
probably. So until next week at this time, ladies and gentlemen, Ananda, thank you, my darling, for coming on today's show. I hope you had as much fun as we did.
Yes, I did.
And as
Thank you, lady.
You are so
always
welcome.
a pleasure to see you, darling.
Oh, I love being on here with you ladies. I'm so glad I was off to be able to do this, and thank you so much. It was so much fun.
The timing was perfect. I love it.
And the
It
hour and
really
a half,
was.
the hour and a half flew by as it always does.
Yeah.
So, Mary, I love you, my darling. I will talk to you when I get home later this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm going to put up, y'all look for Ron Owenby. His book is called The Amnesia Puzzle. There is a 7-second video up on the Facebook page, also up on the podcast website at allthingsbooksandpublishing.riverside.com. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. With that, I leave you guys. Until next time, I will do magic clips. I will post them up on the Facebook page. And Nada, you grab them. I will tag you in them. You
Yes.
like, click, share. You know the routine now. You know what we got to do.
Yes. Absolutely.
Monica, nice meeting you.
Thank you. So nice meeting you all. Appreciate it. Looking forward to this journey.
Absolutely. So until next time, kiss
Bye,
off.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.